So the question is, how are we going to advance Wisconsin, I think, on the technological front and with science
Science, technological,
yeah,
and society.
and society. So a few things here. You know, I already talked about education and wanting to get kids more in experiential learning situations where they're directing their own inquiry and their own science projects and becoming, you know, realizing that they already are scientists. We all are. We are all scientists. We have that in us. We're curious, we ask questions, we make observations, and then we come to conclusions. So just teaching, you know, people from a very young age how to do that, and then no matter what they do with their life, that will always support them. But I really want to there's a couple of things I really want to get at. We need to use science when we're making policy, right? We need to think about our natural resources, how we're managing our waterways, our wildlife, and so on, using science and taking into consideration that climate change is an actual real thing, whether you like it or not. It's happening. And it's going to be happening. That has major implications for all of the wildlife and habitat and tree species and everything. And that's not just like of interest because we like trees and think they're pretty. That seriously impacts every single aspect of our economy. So we need to start managing for climate change in terms of how we reforest, how we're managing our rivers and streams, watching fish populations, and so on. Deer, wildlife, and deer, how are we managing chronic wasting disease? Like that's where we've been very slow to move on that front, and now we've got many counties in the state of Wisconsin that are dealing with the CWD crisis. So we've got to use science to make our policy decisions. I also want to see Wisconsin moving forward on the alternative energy front. You know, we really missed the boat when it came to taking federal dollars to develop alternative transportation. That was something that, I mean, just the burden that could have been relieved on our roads, the mobility that we could have had from between the cities and up to Minneapolis, that would have been incredible. Let's not miss opportunities like that in the future, and let's start developing alternative transportation and getting ourselves off of coal and oil. Especially coal. We spend so much money importing coal, and it's the single biggest contributor to greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Let's really move ahead on a new industry of solar power, wind power. We can do that, and those are good jobs. So let's make sure that we've got training avenues that will get people into those positions and support those kinds of businesses.
Thank you very much.